My community, my club is working on peace from the eyes of economy. I will also talk about, when looking at the news, I see that Putin, there are news that Putin is at Kiev, and we will also talk about what if economy would be there, what would have happened. We know all that Putin invaded Georgia and now Ukraine after both countries saying that they would attempt to become a member of NATO. All these invasions, all these reactions of Russia is actually the reaction of them that the former parts belonging to Soviet Union are facing towards the east.
Bakın geçen hafta da o yapıldı bütün dünyanın.
During World War II, they bombed Munich on private locations, and this was the first time that civil places were bombed. After that, the Munich communication has been started, like nowadays today.
Ve başında da o zamanki Almanya'nın Macaristan ve Polonya büyükelçilikleri olan onlara Avrupa Birliği alan Dr. Meinl diye biri vardı. Başkan yardımcılarından bir tanesi Martin Schulz, Avrupa Parlamentosu Başkanı, öbürü de Günther Verheugen, Avrupa Komisyonu'nun genişlemeden sorumlu başkan yardımcısı. Yani biri Avrupa Parlamentosu'nun yasama organının başkanı, öbürü de başbakan yardımcısı Avrupa Birliği'nin. Böyle bir şey olaraktan Uluslararası Diplomatlar Birliği benim konuşmamla ilgili faaliyetler.
International Bureaucratical Association are looking into the solution of problems of economical problems. If you look into the association, they are mainly businessmen.
Şu anda İstanbul'da pazartesi günü de Arel Üniversitesi ile bir protokol imzalayacak ve Türkiye'den de Almanya'ya çok sayıda hemşire, sağlık personeli vesaire göndereceğiz o çerçevede. Şimdi bu şeye nasıl geldik? İşte bakın dünya kan gölü içinde. Bu arada Aret Bey'in iki sorusu vardı. Sordu, cevaplamadı. Şimdi benim sorumdan sonra cevaplayacak. Bir dedi, devletlere hala ihtiyaç var mı dedi.
Mr. Aret asked, do we need governments? And the second question was, why are we still hoping benefits from bloodshed? Maybe he really wanted us to reply, or he just wanted us to imagine this. If the economy, relation of common relations, like in Syria, in Afghanistan, in the Baltics, in Ukraine, would we have the same issues?
Wilson'un 14 prensibi. Dedi ki Wilson işte o zaman
There was the Wilson principles, which ended the second, has effect in the end of the Second World War.
Belarus'un hepsini Almanya almıştı. Biz de kazanıyorduk. Fransa ve İngiltere Amerika'yı davet ettiler ama bu despotlar, bu Çarlar,
German having invaded East Europe, the Baltics, and UK, France asking UK and United States for help. Wilson has published 14 principles with stating that each bureaucratical have to put their demands on the table during the discussions. First, all the sea water routes have to be open, like today with our Montreux Agreement. Yet, it was seen that it couldn't work and World War II started. After World War II, United Nations was established. Today, at that United Nations principles, it was clearly stated that disagreements have to be solved with bureaucratical approaches and not with war and violence. What today is putting is actually forbidden.
Amerika kazandı, İngiltere kazandı, Rusya, o zamanki Sovyetler Birliği, bugünkü Rusya kazandı ama Fransa ile Çin savaşı kazanmadı. Fransa 4,5 sene Nazi işgalinde kaldı.
During World War II, after World War II, United States, England, United Kingdom, Russia, at that time former Soviet Republic, were actually the winners. France did lose it because they were under the Nazi rules for 4.5 years. Yesterday, during around 3 o'clock in the morning for us, all the votes have been done at the United Nations, but what happened? Russia refused. Russia voted.
Dünyada refah yok mu? Dünyada kalkınma yok mu? Dünya 1900'lü yılların dünyası mı? İşte cep telefonları, uzaya gitmeler, arabalar, ekonomik kalkınmalar, refahlar var.
Yet, is there no peace in the world today? Yeah, of course, there is. There are agreements regarding pieces, stating that if there are disputes, they have to be solved on bureaucratics. If not possible to come to an agreement, a third party should assist. However, when lastly going to the United Nations, it should be solved. Yet, with the aspect of having a veto, this is giving a problem. International economic systems, United States has established 3 institutions for going on the economical globalization. First, customs unity for decreasing the customs taxes to transfer money, to transfer goods. For instance, today, they cannot do anything on political point, on military point, but they are giving sanctions on money transfer, on food, goods transfer, economical sanctions. And this is the only way. So, for any actions that Putin is putting on, the West is just doing sanctions on economical aspects. If there will be peace, it will be based not on military, but on economy. The economy of each country have raised. The wealth has increased, and everyone to keep that wealth has fights, wars have stopped. And of course, there is the World Bank and IMF. Former Russia has, for instance, has not participated in World Bank or IMF, stating that it's a capitalistic approach. Yet those who have applied have used the support of these institutions for building up their economy. In the history, German and French have fought 7 times. The last 2 were world wars. At the time, the economy has started, base industrialization started, coal mining started. Nowadays, of course, the coal has been changed with petrol, with oil. Nowadays, of course, coal is not the main drive for any disputes, but for World War II it was. In the past, for 500 years, the European continent was ruling the world economically. For instance, the South Americas, the Latin Americans, they speak Spanish. Brazilian language is Portuguese. So that means really they are based on languages from Europe. But after both world wars, they became, instead of being the ruling continent, it became the ruled one. From the West, it was United States till 19th, for instance, West Berlin. From the East, from the Soviet republics. Europe said, look, we have to come together in order to not to be ruled, because we cannot share the economical wealth. So the European countries came together.
Yok Kaliforniya'daki Ermeniler, yok Fransa'daki Ermeniler vesaire. Bıraksalar Ermenistan'ı, Ermenistan hemen sınırları açacak. İşte başladılar diplomasi zaten. Gelecekler ticaret. Bugün Ermenistan'daki %90
For instance, also Turkey and Armenian. If they would let Armenian, we would start the commercial affairs and economical relations. But now, even though they are using Turkish goods, it is served via Georgia. Now, this was also a dispute case as an example. If we look back how Europe has solved this problem, the German Robert Schuman was a diplomat, was a foreign affairs minister in France. After, when the 5 years after the war ended, he took over the state planning department. Schuman said to Jean Morin, please make a plan so that the governments do not fight each other again. All the wealth of each country should be considered, and we should do the development of economical growth. Even though France and Germany were hating each other, after this plan, they came together and shared the economical wealth. As said before me, individuals and government have desires for their own benefit, but for the sake of a community to work and have wealth and to fulfill desires, a community has to be shared. Dolayısıyla bugün dünyada kalıcı